Riven, having had absolutely enough of all of this shit, transformed into a direwolf, attempting to flee. He ran really, really fast. Vermilion didn't give a shit about that. Misty stepped to get ahead, moved, and dashed in pursuit. Tiny Wing rocked off 2 Eldritch Blasts at him. Kaori finished him off with a second use of Fireball, leaving Riven, the hybrid lycanthropic creature, a blackened, smoking husk, well and truly off the map that this son of a bitch did not make big enough, because he should have realized that Wolf would absolutely chase that son of a bitch. Salazlo, bleeding from almost every orifice, so Ham gets points for closest use of words from my recappers to theirs. Used Invisible Force to exactly that, spill a crucible of boiling silver that the blacksmith had been asked to turn into slag over that same blacksmith in her werewolf form. And then the second werewolf was cleaned up and fell dead on the unconscious body of his twin brother, Court, who at this point wakes and, terrified, begins screaming. The blacksmith next to which you are standing is on fire. 2 of you are very injured. How do each of you actually look at this point in time? We'll go around in reverse. How's Vermilion looking?
Truly as hot as ever.
Cell got a bit fucked up with strain. Cell took a hit or two somewhere in there as well. There would be literally like blood leaking from his ears and around his eyes. Which wouldn't be maybe as apparent because of the dark red nature of his skin. But he is still definitively sitting in the mud and not attempting to get up.
Excellent. Lilith, how's Lilith doing? Lilith isn't great.
On a scale from 1 to 38, 1.
Yep, excellent.
Not doing great.
Lilith is not doing great.
Very bloody, very slashed, and probably has a broken rib at this point, because I'm pretty sure I got hammered pretty hard. I'm pretty sure you hit me with a nat 20 maul attack, so probably broken bones. And also I'm bleeding from a bite mark.
Tiny would still be in her form of dread. She's still pretty scared, because that was pretty fucked up from her point of view. She would have never seen anything like that before. So
you know when you go out into real misty rain and like you're just a little bit drenched, but it's not like, you're not like you're not soaked through or anything. It's kind of like that, except blood. But like a lot of it's probably a little starting to dry. She looks like she can hold herself up and is capable of existing at the moment, but definitely looks like she's taken a fuck ton of hits.
With the blacksmith on fire, you all hear from up at the mayor's house, probably, some kind of bell being rung. And being a relatively small town, the residents of this town start heading in towards the blacksmith. Some of them have buckets of water already. The closest is an old mate in a house just kind of north of the blacksmith, directly next to it. There's like it's where the goats were that you're all fucking around with on the map in that last session. So he's quite clearly concerned about the very small patch of vegetables that he has in the life of his 2 goats. And he starts shouting orders to the other villagers of this town. Sal.
Yo.
Roll me a perception check.
Oh, no. I'd love to. Hey, look, that's not a bad way to kick things off. That's a natural 20.
Ooh.
So that's 18.
Despite the chaos, the flames, the smoke, the screaming, presumably coming from Malia and Lilith, just a little bit, you notice someone. Yeah, you notice someone. Someone with whom you are familiar. Someone from your past, from the time that you spent in Riverkeep. A member of the little group that you were a part of when you were there.
Giuseppe Morello?
Yeah. Are you on T? named Larisse. And if Larisse, you would like to expose yourself, that would be wonderful.
I believe that's against Twitch's terms of service, but sure.
Fucking snake. I knew it.
Son of a bitch.
Suck it!
Bam, bitches!
Well, it's been nice, guys. I'm leaving now.
Okay.
Fucking
Hello,
hell.
baby.
Done.
Hello, my darling.
Gone.
Welcome, Gia motherfucking D, to the Sword of the Skulls.
My favorite
I
sister.
love a
Then I'm
surprise.
going.
My favorite brother.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you two know each other? Is that a thing?
Oh my gosh, it's
Oh.
so weird seeing you here. What a surprise! All of my
What-
friends
I
in one
fucking
room.
hate it here. I'm putting in my 2 weeks notice.
I've been
Excellent.
texting Ash like I wasn't at home.
Yeah,
Sending pics of my tattoo like I was out.
Right.
I'm not forgiving you for that one anytime soon.
How does it feel to be
What in the
treated?
You've just lost some bones, is what you've done.
What in the flaccid
Well-
hog is going on here?
But what I've gained is surprises, and that's what I love. I am playing Larisse Songtung, who is a Yuntai, who has a Drake. I get an animal companion, and I love that for me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Larisse would be standing kind of off to the side, hood down, not really helping or engaging, just kind of toying with the scales atop her Drake's head, who's this quite large green scaled Drake with a gold, like almost like the collar that a poodle would wear around its neck. And just sort of watching the chaos unfold, kind of stroking her chin, and then very pointedly catching the eye of Salislo.
Who will remember Larisse Ham as essentially just an old school kind of henchman within that group. So you, I guess, had a familiarity. You'll have worked together in the past, doing the things that you did.
Leaning into each other's mouths.
Correct.
Who knows?
Yeah.
That was off the clock, actually. That was the weird
Whoa,
part. It was
hey.
off the clock.
Amazing.
Everyone's going to have a hobby, right?
That's right. And so, what exactly is it that Sal sees then, G, looking at Larisse? Give us a bit of a description.
Yes, so you would see a fair-skinned Yuntai. The hood is kind of pulled down to hide the reptilian eyes. But there is kind of an orangish sort of burnt mahogany kind of hair that is kind of pulling to one side under the hood, and the tongue kind of flicking out just along the lip line as she's kind of dressed in quite, I think from what you would remember, quite a step down garb-wise. The leathers are pretty rough and tumble. They've gone through clearly like a lot of dirt, debris. They've been well worn, and you get the sense she probably hasn't changed clothes in quite a bit. But she holds herself with all the confidence of someone with a lot more money.
Magnificent. And yeah, so this blacksmith is on fire. What are you all doing?
With a wave of my hand, I look great again. I look like 38 hit point Lilith as I cast Disguise Self to look good.
Magnificent. Just to look good.
To look like I'm not 1 hit point away from death. Because God forbid Lilith would ever allow herself to do that.
That's fair. Saz, Tiny Wing, is doing what at this stage?
Probably staring at the newcomer because she would have never seen anything like that outside of a book.
I'm going to say you will need to roll a perception check before that's a thing. So
Okay.
Sal has recognized this person. At the moment, there's a lot of activity going on, a lot of folk running around.
It's an 8. I don't see nothing.
Okay, very good.
I haven't seen a thing in all of my days.
Yeah, not a single day. What you will see is Zephyr, Kaori's little monkey companion, come skittering out of the blacksmith with a full pouch of random assorted shit. He's absolutely stolen. He does not have a gun.
Give the monkey a fucking gun.
You've got already!
Sadly, the monkey has not yet acquired a gun. However, he does have a pouch that appears to kind of be dropping a few coins as he skitters along up to Kaori's shoulder, who kind of just scoots back a bit, kind of lurk and try not to make too much of a nuisance of herself.
Quietly whistling.
Vermilion was
Hey.
already on a mission. What's Vermilion up to?
Well, I got the mace and I didn't die. It appears to be magical. Is there anything else? Like, I guess this charred corpse. Is there anything else of interest on this corpse that I might like to pilfer since we're all in a pilfering mood?
Amongst the non-charred items will be the longsword that he had as well.
Yep, I'll take that. And just truly anything else. Like, I have no shame.
A handful of bones burnt.
All right, I'll have one of the burnt bones.
Beautiful.
Gonna add those to my inventory right now. And then I guess Vermilion will look around and be like, okay, this job is done. What's going on everywhere else?
Yeah, and you turn around and see a giant pillar of smoke coming from the blacksmith.
Like, how on fire is this thing? Like, on fire, or like spot fires on fire?
It's on fire at this point.
It's hit with a fireball on fire.
Yeah.
It's been a month, all right?
Vermilion would probably then just like sigh to himself and be like, oh, can I leave these buffoons alone for 5 minutes? And then start walking, not in any like rapid pace, back towards the column of smoke.
You definitely were like 10 feet away from the fireball when it went off. You absolutely know that fire was happening.
Yeah, but you're all also buffoons.
I'm not.
Can't disagree.
Am not.
You
What do you
can't hear my
mean?
internal monologue.
I mean, Vermilion's internal monologue is very much an external monologue a lot of the time.
That's
That
true.
Does feel very true.
But I am far enough away, you probably can't hear it.
Malia. What's Malia up to?
She's sorry, Emily's struggling because G's here.
Same. Aren't we all?
I have that effect on people.
yeah. I think Malia though is like probably pretty quiet and is still trying to figure out what the fuck is going on around her. Because I've missed most of this fight, despite it only being X amount of time.
Mhm.
So I guess I would look around, make sure that my companions all look like they can handle themselves currently. Does anyone look like they are struggling to hold themselves together?
Lilith
No.
looks great.
Okay.
And I don't think anyone else has taken a significant amount. Well, I guess Salazar would probably look the most worse for wear.
Bleeding out, but digging deeper.
I think if you saw Salazar at this point in time, like he'd still be sitting in the mud, but you'd see that his eyes have got incredibly wide, and almost involuntarily sort of pushing himself like along backwards across the ground away from a direction.
Okay, if that's the case, I'd probably go over to Sal and just be like, just hold out my hand to help you up. And be like, I think you're going the wrong way. I don't think that's the right way to go.
He almost, like the force of which he slaps your hand away would be slightly disconcerting. And you can
Like,
see
do
his-
damage?
Yeah, that's a fucking dangerous place to be right now.
not do damage, but like it's not a hey no I don't need help. It's like a whack, and you can see he's very focused on
I guess,
thing.
am I able to then make an insight check to figure out whether this is like fear related or like just
Go for
it. Hey, one of the things. Insight. That's a 19.
What is Malia getting from a 19, do we think?
Sal, there is a look of deep shock and fear.
Okay. Then with force, I'm going to grab you by your shirt and stop you if I can.
Cut your finger off.
Yeah, and cut all of your fingers off, one by one, and put them
How old's
straight in the
Malia
finger
again?
pouch. Huh?
Nothing. It's fine.
How many hit points do you have left?
No, that's fine.
I'm going to attempt to do that. And I am going to be like, Sal, you need to keep it to fucking together right now.
And he would like kind of half let himself be pulled up, sort of at this stage, that initial shock of you reaching towards him. And you see he just points straight past you.
This interaction, Tiny Wing will notice.
She's gonna look to Malia more than Sal and just be like, is he acting like a stubborn fool again?
I think he's scared, actually.
Scared of what? It's just a
Uh,
fire.
And then I'm going to turn around and look at what he was pointing at.
And look, he's pointing at
Wrist.
Laris.
fucking new individual who's turned up. God fucking damn it.
Quietly I'll turn back really quickly to Sal and be like, is this someone we're going to have to fight? Because I'm not really in the form to be able to do so currently.
He almost now sort of absent-mindedly, now that you've kind of helped him up, sort of pushes you sort of out of the way a little bit.
Okay,
But he's not very strong, so it would be kind of a half of an attempt. Whether or not that would be successful, would you?
I would just let you. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
I can't be bothered fighting you.
And he'll go and he'll say, Laris, what are you doing here?
The strings of fate do love to twist us into funny shapes. Odd seeing you here, though. What shape have they twisted you into, I wonder? How have you been? Been a while.
Yeah, not nearly long enough, if I was being honest.
Oh, hurtful. But not untrue. What are you doing here?
It's none of your business, Laris.
I beg to differ, but we're gonna play that game, sure. There's some stuff going on at home. You're needed back. I've come to collect.
No, hold on. I'm sorry, but no, this is not how this works. You don't just turn up back in my life demanding that I've got to come back and do anything. Why? No, I'm sorry. This is not how this works.
I'm sorry. I think you've had too much time on the outside. You need to come back to the Red Wraiths. I won't ask again. And it's not a request.
And who in the fuck do you think you are? Just walking up in here and telling our party members what to do?
Down, Fluffy, leave the thing alone. And just pats the head of the Drake that is not interested in conversation with the newcomer. Leave it be. Larissa, pleasure to meet you. And you are?
Not interested, mostly. But
Great,
if
now
you-
that's out of the way. So, what's it gonna be? Are you gonna come easily, or are we gonna have a problem? Don't make Horik wait. You know it's not his thing. Do they know?
It's none of their business. Look, I've only been traveling with them for a little bit, and what has occurred has got nothing to do with them. Look,
Oh, that's why you're so. Oh, okay, that makes sense. All right.
look, what do you lot want from me?
Oh, that didn't come across. We need you back.
Yeah, but
Shake
surely
it
there's
within.
got to be something specific. I'm not going to come back permanently.
I never said permanently. I just said back. How long you stay there is very much up to Horik. And, well, you, I suppose. You
But
didn't
why
leave
do you
the
need-
best impression.
Why do you need me specifically? There's a whole bunch of you that could be doing all of the fucking nasty shite that you get up to. Just leave me alone. I've got another life now.
Interesting that you use the phrase that you get up to and not that we got up to. Interesting indeed. New life indeed. What a shame if it all came crumbling down. Come on, don't make this difficult.
At that point, a section of the blacksmith absolutely crashes in on itself, just making a smashing noise, and a gust of embers bursts out in your direction. You're all still relatively close to this building at this point in time. From the opposite direction, you see Trabbit, the assistant to the now deceased mayor/sheriff, trundling down a dirt road, pulling this wagon completely full of water. Like, oh, it's you guys. I do not remember this fucker's voice, by the way. So here we fucking are.
I remember.
Do you? Go on.
Yeah. No, I want you to. I want to see how close you get.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. Oh, it's you. Help me with this, will you? What did you do?
Yeah, pretty close.
Oh, did you do that? Oh, you haven't changed that much at all.
Look,
That Tiny would actually like to fly down onto Sal's shoulder and be like, Sal didn't do anything. It's not his fault.
Oh, okay. So building fire coincidence.
Wasn't
That
Sal.
was a monkey.
You can't blame Sal.
look, you know, Laris, that fire is not my thing, all right? Now you just stay put. We're going to deal with this shite, and then I'll come and talk to you later on.
Just
And you
moves the
actually-
finger in her face out of the way. Uh-huh.
Anything that is around Laris, like is she standing beside like a building or anything like that?
She'd be standing at this point, I guess, in front of the burning blacksmith building. There's another house on the opposite side of the road to where you guys are.
It's like the meme with the kid in front of the burning building,
Yeah.
just like
A little bit,
shooting
yeah,
in.
yeah.
So when Sal points, he will actually use invisible force, almost inadvertently, to pull a piece of like burning wood off the side, and it would scud past Laris's head. He can't, like, he's not super strong with invisible force, but it's almost that inadvertent, if there was something loose there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't say. How do I take damage from that? Or
No,
do I have to
It's
move?
not attacking. It's almost inadvertent. It's like, and Laris, you probably would have seen stuff like, you would absolutely know what's going on with Sal at this point in time.
Yeah.
Would
Okay.
have seen this kind of thing, this little bit of lack of control, shall we say?
Well, you better get on it then. And I'm gonna cast Domaturgy and just spark the fire up a little more.
Shit.
I'm gonna cast
Oh.
Thaumaturgy, and Larissa's just gonna get like a trumpet blast in her ears.
Mm. Pleasant. You make excellent friends. Well, better get on it, heroes. Building won't save itself.
I'm gonna humbly suggest that we just move along and take this little reunion elsewhere. And that way you guys can unload whatever fucking trauma you have on each other, and we can just do our own thing.
I like this one.
Is there, like, are there civilians around?
Correct.
that
There
in
are,
danger?
well, not so much in danger. So at this point, there'll be probably a couple of dozen kind of villagers surrounding the blacksmith, doing what they can to try and put this fire out, but it's getting away from them a little bit. Trabbit kind of comes barreling through the group of you, fucking bitching at each other, with this kind of this little gnome. Question mark? He was a gnome, right? Sure. Like big ass cart of water, barreling through as they start putting that to good use. So they're not in any immediate danger that any of you can see. And
It is a gnome.
thank
I
you.
have more in here about his mental state than about who he is as a person.
Yeah, correct. And on the way past, he kind of looks at Sal, and says, "I'm putting all of the lessons you taught me to good use. While you're here, please help us. If this gets out of control, this entire town is ashes."
Tiny will cast Enlarge Reduce on the building that is on fire and reduce it down to make it easier for them.
Sure. Okay. Good. No, I'm not. I'm not even gonna. No, read the description of the spell for me because I have a suspicion.
You cause a creature or an object you
Okay.
can see within range. I checked.
Okay, great.
I read the rule book.
Fucking sweet.
Actually.
Yeah. Okay. Says Vermilion is approaching the group proper then.
Yeah, swaggering in with a long sword and a mace, like, oh, hey guys, that's all taken care of. Did you finally do anything useful or what?
I made a building shrink.
Hey, that's cool. Wow. Who's the snake? Who's the Drake lady?
So
Sal's just going to ignore everyone, and he's actually going to go and start helping people put the fire out.
Guess I'm gonna wander over to the Drake lady myself then. Be like,
It's Larissa, by the way.
oh,
If
hey,
he's not
Larissa.
gonna be, sharing.
Hey,
Hi.
hey, your Drake looks
Hello.
nice. Would it like an apple? He just pulls an apple out of his pouch of never-ending apples.
Fluffy, do you want an apple from the nice man? Fluffy will take it.
Whoa, that's more aggressive than I thought it was gonna be.
He's got a bit
Nice.
of bite to him.
Nice doggy. Hello, I'm Vermilion,
Hi.
rope
Nice to
inspector,
meet you.
etc., problem solver. And at this point, OH&S representative, because this blacksmith has so many violations. Frankly, I'm
That does
surprised
actually
it didn't burn
crack-
down before.
That does crack Larissa in a brief moment of making a conscious effort to struggle against the little laugh that comes out there and just the funny one. Handy. Always good to have cannon fodder. So, what's your deal here? Salisa was being unusually quiet.
Oh, just passing through on our way to somewhere else.
Oh,
Then the building caught fire.
you might have better luck than I did. I heard we couldn't leave.
Yeah, well, you could probably leave now if you tried.
Nah, I've got business to attend to here.
Oh, what
otherwise I
business?
would. Your friend, Sal, was it?
Yeah,
I
Salvatore.
need him. Interesting. New group. Fascinating dynamic. I need him for a little business meeting back home. Any chance you could help convince him to come quietly?
I don't know. My experience, listen, we've been on the road for a little while now, and in my experience, he does not come quietly. It's been very loud, and it keeps me up at night.
That does sound about right. Anyway, so has he told you much about himself? Old friends, you see. I'm always very curious what he says about us.
No, not really. Been kind of keeping himself to himself. He did ask me to make a cake the other day. So, are you like a baker or something? Did you work at the cake factory too? I made up the cake factory. I'm just making inferences from the limited information I have.
Sal,
My cake?
Larissa's having a really hard time, boxing this person into a convenient what to do with you.
Welcome to the rest of the party.
It's just decided that she needs a laugh today, and you know what? This is going to work nicely. I like you. You've got light in your eyes. Spark.
That's surprising
familiar.
because I am truly so mentally unwell.
Oh, the funny ones always are. So what's your deal then? How'd you get wrapped up in all of this and just turns her head up to the flaming building, deliberately not doing anything to help?
Yeah, that said, the building having now been shrunk, and with Sal and Trabbit's kind of additional water supply, they're getting on top of the situation, despite all of you just standing around doing fuck all help.
So small now.
this big, I can't fucking do anything.
It's a house. It is a house. You won't have shrunk it to Stuart Little size by any means.
It's got a Polly Pocket house.
It's
Damn.
just
Stuart being
it's
so-
just a much smaller
Someone just punt
house.
it into the river.
That
Problem
is just-
solved.
Is it a river? Fuck.
So what happened with all of that?
Oh,
I'm curious.
that was the monkey.
You're gonna need to be more specific there, champ.
How?
You know what?
So the-
That's okay.
Larissa would see
What part of
standing
the
like
sentence did you
behind
not
us.
understand?
There
Oh.
is a pirate with a monkey on her shoulder.
Uh,
We
Genie
have a
is
monkey.
Genie. Fucking Kaori and the monkey are nowhere to be seen.
Oh, fuck.
Approximately the same time that Trabbit rolled past and accused you all of whatever all of this is, Kaori has taken that opportunity to not be in that place at that time.
Is Kaori the shapeshifter that we know as Marcus Eight Fingers?
Oh no.
Fuck.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize they weren't here. Sometimes there's a monkey, and basically it's an arsonist. So that's how that happened. And everything else just kind of happened all at once. I was a ram for a little bit. That was fun. And now I think we're probably about to face some kind of consequences for all this, even though we didn't do anything and it was entirely the monkey. And I will probably have to represent us in court. I am a lawyer, in addition to being a rope inspector and some other stuff. Yeah. That.
No, oddly, not too different from my day. Okay. This is weirdly
how was your
quite
day?
similar. It didn't involve a monkey, but arson was part of the agenda. Anyway, I need to talk to Sal. Any chance you could convince him to be a little bit more open with a dialogue?
Oh no, does he like you?
Well, like's a strong word.
Okay, would you like a slightly tempered word for it?
Sure.
Tolerate? Does he
Yes.
tolerate you?
Well, we'll see. My aim is
Okay.
to break that tolerance, but hopefully I get him where I need him to be before that happens.
Right.
How long do you need him for?
Oh, that depends entirely on his behavior when we get there.
Just say 3 minutes, Sam.
That's all I need, baby.
Well,
Wow.
well.
Wow.
So at this stage, Sal would probably
Help.
be back from helping the others.
Hey, Salamander! Is this your friend? Seems like a nice. I'm sorry, I've been rude. What pronouns do you use?
Oh, she, they is fine. Thank you for
Okay.
asking.
They
Polite.
seem like a nice person. And their
Hmm.
dog is really interesting.
Yeah, Sal, aren't I such a nice person?
Nice is not a word
Salmon?
I associate with you most of the time, Larissa.
So in your
Hot
head,
is usually that one.
head,
Anyway.
you're just gonna hear, "If you want her dead, Salazar, think twice."
She does not blink at all.
I feel like
So-
simultaneously you would have heard in your ear Malia be like, hey, if you want me to cut her fingers off, I can do that for you.
Either way, bodily harm is being threatened.
Yeah.
He will take. How tall is Larissa?
From the Drake? Who
Larissa-
knows?
Larissa's on the shorter end of typical Drake, so she's sitting probably about 5'2"-ish, 5'3".
Okay. He will
Oh, you're
take.
tiny.
He will take a step forward, and Sal is tall, like he's sort of 6'4"-ish. How tall was Lilith?
6'9".
Yeah, so he was about 6'4", because I remember he was
Nice.
shorter than her. So he will take a step forward until he is standing right over you, Larissa.
Larissa
he'll go-
meets it and takes another step forward until you are like right there.
Now kiss.
Oh, been there.
And to
done
be
that.
to be
I'm
clear,
sorry, I said that out loud.
the fairy is still on his shoulder, just glaring at you, like, "How dare you do this to her friend?" sort of thing.
So Sal will say, for old time's sake, Larissa,
Hmm.
I'll help out just this once. No murder, no violence. You know my attitude towards that.
Oh, we're not going to go there, are we? In front of all your friends?
We can help.
Be
I'm
a bit
okay with murder.
embarrassing. Oh, and Sal will be the first to tell you murder is just one of the many ways to ruin a life. So, how's this going to go now?
What do you need?
I need you to come home just for a little bit. But as it's been made very apparent to me, getting out of here isn't so easy. So we need a way out first.
Sal will turn to the rest of the group. Right. Well, look, I've got something that apparently I need to deal with.
Yeah, what is it?
Stuff. Look, there's some. Look, it's complicated, and I don't particularly want to go into it in terrible depth right now. But first, we need to get out of this little shithole. Like, do you think we can leave now that these werewolves are all dead? And
God,
mean,
I fucking hope so. I hate it here.
I mean,
Yes,
you
it's
guys look
worse.
rough as fuck as well.
Yeah,
I don't know
thanks
what
for
you're
that
talking about. I
reminder.
look fabulous.
I mean, you look, yeah, well, I mean, I'm not sure what you're doing there, but what are we doing?
Are we putting the fires out or making them worse? I just need an angle on the situation.
The fire at this stage is pretty much out, and so there's currently a crowd of about 3 dozen of these assorted villagers. With the lot of you arguing the street, they are starting to move in your direction.
Personally, I think we should take this inside.
Trabbit
Ma's
in the
house,
lead.
perhaps? This is said as under my breath as possible, so as not to be overheard by anyone outside of the circle. I think perhaps taking a short while to rest would be for the benefit of us all.
Yeah, I need a drink.
You can hash out the terms of your contract instead of just blindly stumbling into whatever arrangement this one is trying to force you into.
Yeah, and I'm going to be an absolute jerk about this. Malia and Lilith, neither of you are going to be fit for travel until you've run through at least 2 separate long rests.
You don't know.
Yeah, kinda.
This game or something? You fuck.
Without
You are the boss of me.
without some significant assistance of some kind that makes it sense, neither of you are
Hey, I
currently
got
fit to travel.
13 hit points, my guy. No, it's fine.
Hey, we've got a
A whole
cart.
13.
We've got a
we
cart
do
and
have
a
a-
ram.
Fuck, where did I put the cart?
Sorry, how many times did you go to 0 in the process of currently obtaining those 13?
You know,
It's fine. It was just mild
detail.
unconsciousness. It's fine.
What's a bit of
Um,
head trauma between friends?
Exactly.
yeah, true.
I don't know. Ask the monkey.
Correct. No,
God, I'm so
D20.
mad I can't beat the monkey.
D20 has actually called it. It's not wielding pitchforks. They don't appear to be too angry, but there is absolutely a mob that approaches the lot of you. And Trabbit is at the front
You're
of them.
making friends.
And Trabbit stands there.
I'm the new mayor.
Would any of you like to explain exactly what happened here?
I'll handle this. Hey, Travis. So basically, listen.
You don't know this guy. Hang on, you don't know this guy. You were a ram.
You were a
outside
ram.
the whole time.
Oh fuck, I was a ram. I forgot about being a ram.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you don't know this guy.
Yeah, so calling him
Larissa's
Travis
just
is actually on
poking,
board.
like
because I don't know
Sal
what
in
his
the
name
ribs.
is. It was
And
really just a good guess.
he'll bat her hand away. And I think for anyone who's paying attention, there would be a certain familiarity between these interactions.
Well, to be fair, she
He's
did
gonna
say
get you on
been there, done that
camera.
when kissing was mentioned. So
Trabbit.
As you can see, Trabbit, we've taken care of your werewolf problem.
Yeah,
I
the
point-
blacksmith has several health code violations, however.
I point to the Lugaroo corpse. As it turns out, our suspicions were correct. Riven was, in fact, the leader of the pack. He turned Sasha and bought one of those, the dead one. Kind of hard to tell, they look identical. And decided to attack us.
And Bort will be part of this mob and will be trailing Trabbit.
wait, isn't Bort the dead one?
We don't know anymore.
Yes, Bort. No, you're absolutely right. Bort is the dead one. Court will be trailing Trabbit. Right, I saw it with my own eyes. He turned into a bloody werewolf right there. My own bloody brother. Now he's dead, and they fucking killed him.
Technically, it was the Shadow Spawn that killed him,
Which isn't around anymore.
which isn't around anymore.
Fair.
Actually,
Actually, we were not technically guilty. And we have a lawyer who will plead this.
He was watching for several rounds of combat what was going on before
And
any
he
of
saw
that
it turn
happened.
into a werewolf and attack us.
Correct. That was one of the things that he saw. Trabbit will turn to Laris then. Laris? Do you know these people?
Wait, do you know this person?
Hold
Oh,
on.
fuck.
I just got sent a picture of Emily's D20 that she rolled.
Oh, the
Dolores hotness.
D10 for hotness, yeah.
Yeah, D10.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
10.
And I will apply a +4 modifier that for absolutely shutting Emily the fuck down. That was
Okay,
that was
so it
good.
was 14 out of 10
Yeah.
then.
I also rolled a 10, so I think it's unanimous.
Can you assist me, Pro?
Absolutely.
In the knowledge of this individual.
Having hung around in this town for at least a couple of months, it's a small town. You will certainly know Trabbit, so he's essentially he's a functionary. He's the assistant to the mayor and sheriff, a position that's been held by one guy over the last 2 months who came in and said, hey, you all have a werewolf problem, and then
Yeah.
immediately killed the current mayor, claiming that was the werewolf, who's currently hanging in a gibbet outside of town with an actual wolf's head covering his head.
As one does.
Yeah, Riven himself, this lot of goons have just fucking smoked into toast, and his corpse is quite a ways off at this point. Trabbit won't have seen that yet.
Yeah, cool. Darling, so good to see you. Sorry about all that. I was miles away. I wish I could have been there to help. Short answer, I know one of them. Long answer, I need that one. The rest, well, that's up to you.
Well, we're going to have to take statements and records and understand what's happening. We're going to need to elect a new mayor.
Oh, honey, that seems like a lot of work. Why don't you just step up? You're qualified, aren't you? I'm sure.
I think
You've got
technically
friends
by the
in
rules
high
of the
places.
town, you are the mayor now because of the way hierarchy works.
Trabbit,
Yeah, you
At least the
Lawyer.
acting mayor.
Trabbit throws up a little bit in his mouth, visibly.
Oh, we've talked about this, darling. It's a bad habit.
You should get an antacid.
I couldn't possibly be. That's not how that works. We have to have a lecture campaigns. We have to do voting. Maybe there's something in the town charter that talks about emergency situations.
Listen, I don't give whoever is going to be mayor. You guys can discuss that amongst yourselves. You're welcome for the werewolf thing. That's all sorted now, so we can just.
Are you sure about that? How do we know there isn't more werewolves out there that are going to immediately rush in here and take revenge for?
Okay, how do you know that there isn't any threat out there in the world? There is. Like, that's just how it
I
works.
wouldn't tell him that.
Some bears could be kind of scary.
Oh, don't encourage him.
Look, I mean, to be fair, the concept that maybe there's more werewolves out there is not a bad one, and it would be kind of like unfortunate if we'd done this and then we all rolled off and more of these things just came in and just.
Oh, I'm not saying let's roll off. What I am saying is, can
Oh,
we
I
find
am.
somewhere that I can fucking rinse all this blood off myself? Because
Right, Lilith made a good suggestion. Let's go inside. Let's get ourselves cleaned up. We can talk about this in private. All you lovely people, townsfolk, there's lots of things that you could be doing now to like make sure that the place that doesn't burn down, although it's not burning anymore, but maybe discuss like the town charter and how you're going to look at electing a new person. And once you've described and worked that out, Laris, I saw that. Once you've gone through and you've done that, then you can run things and we'll see if we can maybe think about some way that we can help you all out. Okay, does that make sense? Is that okay?
The
I think it's okay.
the crowd collectively.
Yeah, what did
Yeah,
you expect there? It's a crowd of angry people.
most.
Love rhubarb, apparently.
It's mostly agreement for the most part. What you do see though is Trabbit will kind of rush around, talk to a few key individuals, and will then kind of with the guy who came running from the goat farm directly next to the blacksmith and Court will approach you. Well, of course, if you have, as you say, saved us from peril, you're welcome to use the facilities and the mayor's lodgings to look after yourself for a little bit, and so we could establish exactly what happens from here. What we're going to do with all of you. And he kind of looks to Sal with this, like, little, are you proud of me? Look.
And so it just goes like a little. Doing great, buddy.
Great. And he very, deliberately and confidently starts marching up to the mayor's residence.
Also, the former mayor/sheriff is over there. You'll probably want a shovel or something to scoop him up with.
And,
The pieces.
and he kind of looks at Court. Court's absolutely bawling his eyes out, looks down at this gnome, and he'll kind of trundle off to
Larissa's like
deal
why
with the
don't you
body.
Send Fluffy to go take care of it. No, don't. They can't do that here.
Excellent. So we're heading up to the mayor's residence then for a little bit, clean yourselves up, etc.
Would Larissa be able to quickly catch? I've already forgotten his name. I'm so sorry.
Trabbit.
We were just talking.
Yeah, you'll
Trabbit.
know. Mm-hmm.
Just away from prying ears and eyes, for a quick conversation if he's able to be caught.
I feel like these guys do not give a fuck about anyone in this town, so they'll probably trail up the road and allow an opportunity.
So counterpoint, 109,000% will not leave Larissa
Okay.
outside
Excellent.
because he trusts
Yeah.
her about as far as he can throw it.
Well, there is your answer then.
Easy.
Yeah,
Then you can come with me.
Excellent.
I feel like with the passive insight score that I have, I'm just gonna stand there until the whole gang's together.
Sure.
I don't
Oh, in
care
that
enough,
case,
and
we're
I'm
not-
going straight to the mayor's house.
Does anyone then want to attempt anything on the way to this fucking
In that
house
case,
then?
if there is an audience,
Mhm.
Larissa will not
Okay.
bother.
Excellent. Yeah, fuck you, Gene. You're not doing anything you want to do. Welcome to my life.
Get to the liquor cabinet. I'll make us all some sticky methods.
We have arrived back at the residence of the mayor/sheriff, who is now a smoking corpse. That Court is
He thought he was
attending
smoking
to.
before, he's definitely smoking now.
attending to in some way. Two of you are properly and severely wounded. And again,
No, we're not.
very likely unfit for travel for a little bit. So, entering this house, Trabbit will make a note of that. And probably to Malia then, because Lilith has disguised herself in such a way that she looks great.
Fabulous.
You don't look so good. If you head right down the hallway to the last room on the right there, take a seat. I'm not proficient in any way, shape or form in helping people in what appears to be your situation. You are covered in so much blood, by the way. Are you aware of that?
I need you to know that I look great. I just don't feel good, but thank you.
Some of the blood's
and
hers.
I'm just gonna walk and not even pay any more attention. I'm
Great.
just gonna go to where I was.
Yeah. And in that room, you'll find like a water pump. There's like some comfortable seating in there, and some benches that have assorted kind of pads and bandages and such in there.
Cool. I'm gonna get clean.
Great. Marvelous. As for the rest of you, you were here literally minutes ago, and we're heading out, I guess, to talk to the mayor of the town, and now you're telling me that Riven was the werewolf.
Yep.
Wait, the mayor's house was also the prison?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I forgot that part.
This house does a lot of heavy lifting for this town.
Okay.
Also,
You could say it's a one-house town.
also pseudo hospital, as it turns out, down in that back room. Sir, how did you figure that out? I spent so much time with that guy. How did I miss that?
Yeah, look, sometimes you just gotta be real observant. You gotta use the little grey
Very-
cells.
Very codependent. You desperately wanted his approval and would do anything to get it, including overlooking the obvious fact that he was a werewolf.
Yeah, you were too obsequious.
He came to town and then suddenly you had a werewolf infestation? And you missed that.
Look, that is all very fair observations, I guess, in hindsight.
I don't have time to deal with your lack of an IQ, and I'm just gonna fuck off to the bathroom as well.
And he'll turn to Sal then. What do we do now? There's a whole town of people out there. They're going to be scared and worried. There could still be werewolves out there.
Well, I mean, we'll have a look around and see if we can maybe see if there's like a nest of werewolves, a den of werewolves. I don't really know. Actually, he's going to turn to Laris. Laris, you've said before, I think, that you've been here for a while now.
Laris is off by the door, just like scratching at Fluffy's like under chin, and kind of looks up. Yeah, it's been here for months. Not,
Right.
you know, part of the plan, of course, but here anyway.
So what do you know about all this werewolf malarkey?
Oh, nothing. I don't care.
Roll
Get out of my head. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm going to 100% insight check to see if she's completely full of bullshit.
Yeah, sure. Go for it. Roll it.
Oh, no, on the table, Hamish.
Throw it out the window. Catch.
Insight.
Also, if I could catch an accent
Oh,
for Laris for like more than 2 seconds, she's just going.
It's
I'm
great.
gonna pretend it's part of Yuntai is that they can't maintain an accent for longer than 5 seconds. They're chameleons.
Thank
I got
you
no idea.
absolutely in reverse for that. I appreciate it. Thanks for introducing that into my world as a thing that I need to remember. I appreciate it.
Actually,
Love you.
You're welcome.
actually,
Mm.
you know what? Sal's going to take another. Is going to
Take a strain.
yeah. I'm going to use Veritas on her. To see
Okay.
whether she's lying.
So,
What does
Dead
that
yet,
mean?
Sal? Serious?
correct.
What does that mean?
So, with this fancy MCDM class, can you please explain Ham Veritas?
So I keep reading it. It's Laris, isn't it? Not Laris. I said it wrong.
I keep saying it is Laris. I keep
Yeah.
saying Larissa because I'm
Yeah.
an idiot. It's Laris.
Yep, Laris. So you wouldn't have seen this before. So you would see Sal kind of just pause for a moment and concentrate. You would probably have a vague understanding that something's going on. You've seen this sort of shit from him before.
Mm-hmm.
But Veritas means that I'm basically trying to attempt to see whether or not you're lying with anything that you say for the next 10 minutes. So you
Okay.
need to make a charisma saving throw.
Ooh. Rolly rolls.
DC
That would
six-
be. Oh, sorry. Yep. What is
DC 16.
19? You don't know shit.
And I've never been able to tell if you've been lying, Laris.
Laris, for this instance, knowing what, or having a suspicion that something doesn't quite feel right there, is going to give you this one for free. She doesn't know a goddamn thing about these werewolves because she does not care. It has not been on her priority list at all.
Oh, wait a minute.
Was that you just then?
Yes, it was
Ooh.
me trying to see whether or not you were just bullshitting me again, like you always used to.
And just so we're clear, that was you failing miserably at it. Just so I'm
Right. Look,
clear. Great.
look.
Cool.
It's hard to kind of read someone's mind when they're as fucked up as you are, okay?
Oh, hurtful and pathetic. That was a terrible barb. No, honestly, I have no idea what's going on because I don't care. As long as it stays out of my hair, that's all I really care about.
Yeah, that's all you've ever really cared about, Lars. Just your fucking
Yes.
self, isn't it?
I don't think you get how barbs work here. This is just we're saying truthful things.
No, that's
You're a murderer
because-
and I care about myself. What?
Yes, you do. You've only ever cared about yourself, and that was always the problem between us as well.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, again, we're just saying truths now. If you're gonna hurt me, get a bit more creative, darling.
Yes, I'm
Trevitt's
not the one
Trevitt's
that will
jaw has dropped to the floor maybe 4 times over the course of listening to the shit coming out of Larissa's mouth. But he will interject kind of awkwardly, waiting for like a moment, and he's like, I know someone who might know something about if there are more out there.
Oh, God.
Yeah, who?
Kyle. He was attacked while he was out on an expedition out there. Maybe he'll know something about where that happened or what he found. You guys remember Kyle, right? He's the dick. He's the thief and ne'er-do-well that's always locked up in that fucking prison that we've got up in there.
Yeah, we remember. I don't think he knows anything, though. We'll probably just ignore that line of questioning.
Sure.
Hey, do you have anything for a bite? Like if you got bitten by an insect, do you have a cream or
I thought
something
you said
for it?
butt. I
No,
thought you
not
said
bite.
butt.
I said
So did
bite.
I.
Fuck you.
Like,
For a
wow.
butt, that might help.
A bite? Like it's no.
Like if someone was bitten by something, you got anything for that?
Lyris is oh
No, the
way.
the closest thing that we have to someone who might be able to help with insect bites, they haven't been in town for a while. The werewolves rocked up, and there's a druid that used to come into town every now and again, but they have not been interested in visiting, it seems, or they've been eaten by werewolves. They could maybe help with that kind of thing, I guess. I've just got bandages and water. That's as effective I could be for any kind of wound, fatal or otherwise.
Fair enough. Look, I think it'll probably be fine. Just wondering.
So just to be super clear,
Hey,
this is the new life. This is what you've got going on for you here. Bite victims, werewolves, a place on fire,
where?
and a dude who got eaten. Oh, wow. This is startlingly similar. I can't believe you've just traded the quality of the company.
Yeah,
is
the
amazing.
quality's got
Um,
infinitely better now that you weren't around.
I'm just gonna yell out from
Fascinating.
down the hallway because I'm walking slow on account of the 1 hit point. Don't forget about the dragon, Salislow.
Oh, this is too good. I'm gonna get a drink. Who wants a drink?
I have never needed a drink more in my life.
On that, we can agree. And Larissa is gonna keep Fluffy guarding the door and is gonna go up to the bar. If there is a bar here, I assume there's a bar here.
Raid the liquor cabinet like the rest of us.
There will be a liquor
Yeah.
cabinet in like an office type building, that
I barely
Great.
know. I
Is-
barely know her cabinet.
office type room, I guess.
Fuck off, NPC.
Oh, well, it's been so good, guys. I have to now go. Goodbye.
Goodbye forever.
Anyway,
All right, drinks. Trabbit will join you, and we'll start looking through a whole bunch of paperwork, trying to figure out exactly how to continue to run this town, in the absence of any figure of authority. Malia, you'll have managed to have cleaned yourself up at this stage. What is Tiny Wing up to? There's been a lot of banter with your best bud.
Actually, just on that, Sal will go, "Hey, Tiny, can you and I have a little conversation?"
Always.
Excellent. Maybe if we go over somewhere else where that one.
hello. Oh, right, the other one. Sorry.
She's still
Um,
camped on your shoulder, so where you go, she goes.
Excellent. So he'll find a space where Laris is just not present.
Yeah, if Laris is making a beeline for the drinks,
Yeah.
Laris will allow this, and that should worry you.
that's right.
Allow.
Excellent. So you'll find a room in this house, and it's full of what appear to be some kind of filing system, perhaps then. Or alternatively, you can head out of the house if you want as well, and kind of get away from everyone.
As he's heading out, he will glance at both Malia and Lilith. If they're nearby,
No, we're in the bathroom.
you're in the bathroom.
Well, I think Lilith is
Trying
making
to
her way
pass out.
towards the bathroom while I am in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lilith is leaned on the wall, doing the really tired walk that you do. You just lean on the wall and just walk.
Yeah.
That's
All right,
that.
well, then
I'm getting there.
maybe he won't bother her then. So he'll head outside with Tiny and once he's outside, I go, "Look, Tiny, we've got a small problem inside with Laris. We're not going to Rivermeet like she wants us to.
Where are we going?
Well, wherever we need to go as a group, but not there. And I'm just saying that I might need a little bit of help convincing her that I'm not going.
Define help in convincing her.
Look. There's some history there. I'd rather she's not dead, but if she's in a state in which she is somewhat incapacitated, that would be preferable.
Sorry, DM, just to be very clear, have I been left alone with
Vermilion, yeah.
So at the moment, then, so yeah, Trabbit,
old mate?
yeah, with Trabbit, the little gnome guy.
Wonderful. When that conversation's done, I would just like to. I'm going to message you what I'm telling Travis.
Sure.
Our guest is bringing in secrets? That's unfair.
I'm right here.
You're getting all of this.
Well, yeah, so Vermilion has a choice, I guess, of which direction he wants to go with this fuckery. So you've got Malia and Lilith then. You've got Sal and Tiny Wing having a secret chat outside. And yeah, so Larissa and Trabbit will be hitting the liquor cabinet. Trabbit's freaking out about admin. So what is Vermilion doing at this time?
I have to run a really long way, so I'm going to go get a drink.
Okay,
At the
excellent.
liquor cabinet.
Brilliant. Sal, as you were.
So, like I was saying before, I was slightly distracted. We need to deal with her because I'm not going to Rivermeet. I'm not going to go and catch up with my past like she wants. I don't care if she thinks I've got a job to do or if I owe anybody anything. I'm not going to do it.
Why does she think she needs to take you to do this?
Because for reasons that I'm not going to go into right now, and maybe we'll talk about it another time. But right now, we need to deal with her. And look, both Malia and Lilith, I'm sure are 100% on board with this based on one or two interactions on the way. But I don't want to kill her. That's too far.
We shouldn't kill needlessly anyway.
I mean, look, there's a time and a place for it, but I mean, you're right. And look, to a certain extent, I owe Laris something. So
But not this.
Sorry?
But not this. Not what she wants now.
No, not this. Let's just say there's some history there, and
Then we won't do it. It's that simple. We'll find a way.
yeah, but I'm not very good at this whole subtle thing of, like, I'm better at just, not this whole mind stuff that I do. The whole wizard stuff that I do, fuck, whatever it is. It's not a delicate thing. It's not a surgical instrument. It's more of a bludgeoning instrument. I don't know. Maybe we need to talk to Malia and Lilith and see if they've got an idea or something like that. I think Vermilion's, I actually think Vermilion's possibly bonkers.
Vermilion is Vermilion.
Yeah, Vermilion is Vermilion. The other two seem to be much more inclined to deal with this kind of thing. But again, I think they're also more inclined to want to kill. I don't want that to happen. Not this time.
I think they may not. I think they'll follow your lead. It's about you. It's not about everybody else this time. It's about you. Surely they would follow that.
I mean, we don't really know them still. I mean, we haven't really been together that long, and I've seen both of them do some interesting things and have got some interesting attitudes. But look, if you think that they'll follow along, then sure. Guess we'll find out.
I think underneath it all, I think maybe there is some hidden good, some hidden niceness in there. It's not going to show it yet.
Tiny. You're so sweet.
Now,
Horrible.
also, I have a question.
Sure.
What's this? You guys did this before. What is this?
Oh, right. That's,
Introducing a new form of insult into this world.
that
No, just
was
a tiny.
Oh, just a tiny. Okay.
And he'll kind of go into length to explain what that means.
Excellent. In the process of which a spine-tingling wolf's howl can be heard from the forest just to the west of where you guys are currently at that house.
I think inside now.
Right, yeah, that wolf howl doesn't sound too great.
Mm-mm.
All right, back inside, and we'll go and catch up with the rest of the group.
I'll get both of you to roll a perception check before you head into the house.
No. Watch my dice fail
It's
me
gonna be
after I
fine.
used
It's
all the
gonna be
good
great.
ones.
No, Sal. No.
Perception?
Sal, the secret. Sal, what says the secret is to threaten them with eating. Threaten your dice with chewing.
And that
them.
one.
No, I rolled a 3.
Oh, right. Excellent.
There is
I
a
got a
wolf
s-
right
I got a
behind you.
16.
You don't see it.
Yeah, yes, like, well,
It's been there the whole time.
don't understand where that howl's
Does it-
coming
You
from.
are the
Does it
wolf,
smell like
and you
dog in
can't
here to
see
you
it.
guys?
It smells like
Why
wet
is my
dog.
leg suddenly wet? I don't understand what's going on. Okay.
You're half in the jaws of a werewolf.
Yeah.
Vermilion wild shapes into a wolf and sneaks up behind tiny winged Sal. No, absolutely not. Too busy.
Okay, thank you both. Okay, so with that out of the way, is there anything else anyone wants to cover off while we're
Yes.
here? Yes, Lilith.
During that conversation, I
Mhm.
would have gotten to the bathroom and knocked on the door. I wouldn't have just barged in as Lilith is so wont to do.
Do you say who you are, or do you just knock?
I just wait for you to answer.
Just ominous knocking noises.
Occupied.
Yeah.
What a shit.
Who is it?
I'm dying, darling. Won't you let me in?
Yeah, and I will open the door, absolutely completely naked, while I'm cleaning myself off, and not give a fuck. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna absolutely not care.
I also don't give a fuck, so that's
And
great.
then when I'm ready to, as I'm listening to whatever you're about to say, I'm just gonna start getting dressed.
Can you help me take this belt off? I think my rib is broken. I'm not gonna lie. And then I'm just gonna drop the disguise self glamour. And I look like shit.
When I am appropriately clothed, I would assist with removing the belt.
Yeah. I'm gonna also strip to get the blood off, and then I'm gonna healing word my ribs so that they
Fine.
are maybe no longer broken. Which will be. Oh, cool, Max. Excellent. I love that. You know, I don't like her, and I'm saying this telepathically, so that it is not heard. I don't like her, and I'd
Can
really.
I can't respond to you telepathically.
You can't
can I?
respond telepathically, no.
Cool. Good to know.
But you can respond softly.
Aww.
Keep talking. Maybe I will.
She's worse than you were when we met. And you were pretty bad. And I was pretty bad. And I don't like her.
Okay. Then I'll be being quiet. Seems like Sal has something to do, obviously, with her. So I think it's kind of up to him what our moves are. But if it was up to you, what would your suggestion be?
Oh, well, I'd quite like a new pair of shoes, but I feel like Sal's not gonna go for that one. But perhaps you're very sneaky. And I'm gonna reach into my bag of holding, and I'm gonna pass you the thing that I've talked to you about,
Mm-hmm.
and just hold it out.
Mhm.
Perhaps we have alternate ways of dealing with this. Because I really, really, really cannot fight much more today. I'm very close to my limit.
Lilith, I think this might be one of the best suggestions you have ever had. And I will take the thing that we're obviously not telling Promethean what it is.
It's a chime of opening. We're just going to use it to bludgeon her to death.
Brilliant.
It's that ring of,
Finally.
it's that ring of wishes that we snuck around with.
yeah, it's the
By
ring-
28 bags of holding. Oh, look at that.
And I'm
I-
going to place it in my like pouch on the front of my belt. I think I might go if you want to clean off, because you look like shit,
Thanks.
I'm gonna, if you're happy for me to, I can go have this conversation with Sal.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that I was cleaning off the whole time we were having this conversation. It's like being in a locker room, locker room. I can speak.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So we've got Malia heading out towards Sal and Tiny Wing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I'll follow like a minute later when I'm dressed again.
Okay, great.
Still looking like shit, but
Malia, as you head, you don't know what direction they've gone in. Yeah, okay, you're walking down the hallway. What do you
If I
got?
spot Larissa, I will say, oh, she's still here. Okay, and just keep going. And attempt to
Larissa does
find-
not even acknowledge
no.
you.
Correct.
All
And
of it.
and so you,
It's just
we,
like,
are,
yeah.
we are truly at the liquor cabinet at this point.
yeah, and so looking, glancing
Going
into
down.
one of these side rooms, you'll see Larissa, and you'll see, I guess, the Drake at her side. Then, at which point, Larissa, the Drake approaches.
Yeah. Hey, baby. You got something for me?
Hey, mommy.
Hey, baby. So, what were they talking about? Because I know they were talking about something.
Excellent. And
This is Emma to go hide in the corner.
and Fluffy and Fluffy will divulge the entire conversation between Sal and Tiny Wing that they both screwed up the perception check for.
So disappointing, but not surprising. Okay, so we might be in for a little bit of a fight, but that's okay. We can handle ourselves. I'd prefer not to, but, you know, worst comes to worst, go for the throat.
Oh, I kind of just.
I know.
Do we? Fine. No, that's
I
fine.
know.
Hey.
No, hey, don't be passive aggressive. We talked about this.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna get my Drake on.
Yeah, that's my boy.
Groovy.
All right, but let's be calm about this. Not be crazy.
Can I have a
There's
drink
still a
there?
chance. Oh, of course, baby. Not too much fun. Just so we're very clear.
Thank you.
And Larissa will kind of come out from wherever it was that we're having the conversation, just kind of stand in the archway observing the room.
Okay, great. So at this point, then Malia's heading, well, presumably is capable of finding Sal and Tiny Wing outside.
I'm a fucking bounty hunter guy. Like, surely I can find a person
Correct.
in an estate or a town.
Okay, excellent.
Or a coconut chocolate bar.
Leaving before we jump to that, Larissa with Trabbit, if there's any conversation you want to have there before that wraps as well.
Yep, amazing. Where's Trabbit at?
He will be seated at a desk. He's
Currently.
kind of going through a bunch of kind of files and bits of documentation. It's like a big giant kind of compendium of rules of the town that Larissa absolutely doesn't give a fuck about, but that's what he's currently looking through.
Wonderful. Larissa is going to just kind of casually, very aware that this is a very jumpy individual, make sure she's in her in the line of sight first, and just kind of sit atop the desk without getting in the way of his papers, and just is going to give a very, because I do realize we are cutting it on time a little bit, Cliff Notes version,
Mm-hmm.
everything that Sal has done. And the idea she's trying to plant is that this is a threat to the village. If you don't want more chaos at your door, it's in your best interest to lock everyone down. I will handle the rest, but I need them all in one place, and I need Sal unharmed. And just kind of taunting the idea that this is going to bring more chaos. And if you want to be in charge, if you want to fix this problem, the easiest way to do that is to contain the most extreme elements, which would be the fine folk out there. And just leave it at that. She's not going to urge him either way. Just leave that little nugget of doubt there. and he'll
Excellent.
back out.
He clearly is struggling to take in that information and handle it with what to do with it, but he furiously starts going through the pages of this thing, seeing if he can find a precedent to work from that's going to work for him.
Democracy that we've introduced here in this place.
Yeah, excellent. Malia, you catch up with Sal and Tiny Wing. So
Is this happening at the same time as Larissa's having a conversation with Trabbit?
yes.
Excellent.
They've been left
Because-
alone to have that conversation while you're
Right.
bounty
Yeah.
hunting your friends.
Because obviously the intention is that they cannot hear this.
Yeah, so no, they will not be able to
Yeah,
hear
cool.
this.
Excellent. If that's the case, it's just Sal and Tiny Wing. I'm catching up. Lilith's behind. Sorry to interrupt. This whole situation getting a little well, no, not a little. There's a lot of caginess here right now. Sal, where is your head at currently?
Right now, my head is I'm going to go back inside. I'm going to go to Laris. I'm going to tell her that she needs to go, and that
No. I don't think that's going to go well for you. I think if she was going to listen to you, then she probably would have already done so.
So, if you let me actually finish,
You're right, sorry.
I'm going to go in there. I'm going to tell her that I'm not going to go with her. And if she has any objections, I will deal with it.
Okay, that's an option.
No, not an option. This is my problem. This
Oh,
is
for
not your
sure.
problem. This is my issue.
Okay.
And he's just gonna walk straight past. Straight into the room where the rest is sitting.
Excellent. What's Vermilion doing?
Vermilion's in the same room as Laris, right?
Probably not while that conversation with Trabbit was happening.
No, but like where the drinks are.
Oh, well, yeah, you'll have made your way into that room then, sure.
Because I figured that's where they were hanging out, and if that's the case, I think Vermilion is just going to be having just another one of his conversations, be like, "So, you know Salmon? How?
Oh, sorry, you talking to me?
Yeah, you know, you seem to know Salamander, Salvatore."
Yeah.
That guy?
And I kind of look towards oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I forgot his name again. Trabbit?
Trabbit, yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Look towards Trabbit. Been hunting him for weeks. That's why I was here actually. And just kind of shoots a look towards Trabbit as a reminder of that discussion.
Yeah, but like before.
Yeah, like I said, been hunting him for weeks. He's got a real history. And, you know, I just can't stand ne'er-do-wells.
Yeah, like the bit where you kissed him one time, apparently. What's the deal with that?
Oh, that was the deal. Is that not, do you need clarification on that? Yeah.
Yeah, like how did you know him before that? Or are you in the habit of just kissing everyone you meet for the first time?
Well, that
And if
depends on their
so-
luck, doesn't it?
Okay, fair enough. Interesting.
Larissa's giving you nothing.
Good.
Every time you like try, it's just like a little wink and a little like flirtatious remark, but there is very little information coming out of that mouth.
What is heading in
What that
though
mouth do keeps
is
secrets,
Salazlo.
Right.
You are entering the room as well to have this confrontation, yes?
Right. Laris, you need to leave. I'm not going with you. This is ridiculous. It's not gonna happen. And all I'm going to say is that for the sake of what we had, just leave.
Called it.
I don't
You say that out loud?
Yeah.
What
I-
offensive spells do I have on me at the moment? Sorry.
I don't want this to go the way it's potentially heading.
With you in a prison cell? Is that the way you think it's going? See, Trabbit, I told you. He just won't come quietly.
I can attest to that. We've been traveling for a few days, you see. Keeps me up at night.
Trabbit is quite clearly torn at this point and kind of
Yeah.
stands up, puffs his chest out a little bit. I've been told some very concerning things about you, sir.
Shut up. Whatever she's told you is possibly true, and everything that I've maybe done, she has done 1,000 times worse.
That's a confession, I think, in legal terms. You're a lawyer, right?
Yes.
Laris, leave.
Yes, darling. No? I feel
Okay,
like that's how this
so-
conversation goes.
I'm going to use Revengers of Time on her now.
Fuck. Okay, sure. Hit us with the description and the
Yes,
circumstances,
these are
please.
such- I will also say, not to interrupt, this has been really cool because I've never played a Yuntai before, and I don't know any of the shit that she's got, and this is all new, and this is really fun. I like learning new things.
So you need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okie dokie.
DC 16.
17.
Okay, hold on. I just dropped my D6, which is important. Okay, so I rolled a 6 on the manifestation check. What did you roll?
17.
I am going to take 3 strain,
Fuck.
which is going to put me to 7. To force you to re-roll that, and you'll get -3 on that roll.
Oh shit.
Okay, so whatever I roll, I take 3 away.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh no.
I'm gonna use my fun die for this.
This is the fuck you with your legendary resistance all over again.
We're all watching this, right? We're
Fuck
all
you and the
watching it
legendary
because we've
resistance you rode
followed,
in on.
right?
Malia, I guess. I feel like Sal would have kind of like absolutely hustled down to have this conversation. Tiny Wing would have been first behind him. Malia, entirely your call as to how
I'm following.
quickly
like-
you're actually doing this.
Oh yeah.
Lilith is still cleaning herself up. Vermilion's
No.
standing there
Lilith
talking
was
trash.
like
After Malia,
Oh
I
yeah,
followed.
okay, great. In which case, then yeah,
I-
We're
you
all watching
you
this.
are all
I-
converging into this room as this
Yeah.
happens. Then yes,
Can I do a thing?
Trabbit,
Because-
meanwhile, books it.
Ah, you little coward. All right.
I would like to swipe my hand, and the shadows from the candlelight are going to coalesce around Laris, and I'm going to hex her.
Sure.
Dexterity. So
What do I roll?
no, you don't have to roll
It'll be
anything. You are just
hex.
So you have disadvantage on dexterity checks for the next hour.
Okay. Easy peasy.
Fluffy starts growling immediately, kind of with an eye up to Laris for instruction. The second Constitution saving throw. How did that go with the -3?
That was a natural 20.
Bam!
Would you like to see it?
So you
I'll take
still
your word for
take
it.
you still take
Shiny.
15 points of necrotic damage.
Okay. That's fine.
And I'm well, no, because I think potentially we're getting into the realms of combat before I do anything else. So, for those of you who are watching, 1, 2. Let's do that one. That's fun. So I've just taken 3 strain. So I've now got disadvantage on wisdom and charisma checks. I also now have disadvantage on death saving throws.
You're
Ooh,
gonna
ew.
need it, buddy.
You would see now, like, there was still sort of, like, he would have cleaned up some of the blood and stuff from earlier, but now there is, like, the blood is pouring out of his ears. And he just says, Laris, don't make me do this.
You need to be careful. What the fuck was that?
You need to leave me the fuck alone. You need to go back. Never, ever come back here or tell Frock wherever I am. I
Would you-
will fucking destroy you.
Darling, let's be honest, you'll kill yourself before that happens, and I really need you alive. Fine. Okay. If we're gonna play a tantrum, fine. Fluffy, back away from their throats, please.
Okay, mommy.
Good boy. Give me the ring. I know you still have it. Hand it over. I'll go. For now. I just need the ring. It'll be enough to appease Horik. Don't make me beg. You know it's more your style than mine.
He glances down at his hand. And you see he's got a very simple ring that it slides off his finger. He just throws it at you.
Can I, knowing that I'm hexed with dexterity, can I try and catch it?
Yes, you absolutely can. Please roll a dex check to try and catch the ring.
Wonderful.
Don't you have
At disadvantage. Yeah, at disadvantage.
Knowing that she has a disadvantage, I want to still try and catch it.
Do it.
If she misses, can I catch it?
I think you'd be on the wrong side of the throw to do so.
All right. Well, luckily my dex is fucking huge, even with my disadvantage. So that is dirty 20.
Bam. Snatch it out of the air.
Wait.
From 21 to 20. So mature, darling. So mature. Thanks. You won't be hearing from me again.
Good. Hope you rot.
Oh, sticks and stones. Pleasure meeting you all, I guess. Bye. And is just gonna go find. She goes to leave. Is making plans to go find Tabret and sock him one.
Excellent.
Huh?
So you make your way through what is a fairly thick group of people in the doorway of this one little room out into the hallway of this house, and just kind of.
I was gonna
Like,
say, I don't think any of us are
Can I?
moving.
Yeah, can I try and trip her when she passes?
Oh God! Yeah, if you must.
Cool. How do I do that?
You attempt to do that. Make another dex check. Then I guess.
Excellent. All right. Between 22 and 26, 22. My dex is high as shit.
Excellent. So elegantly, just absolutely avoid that.
She just, like, almost in the way that, like, a ballerina sort of would, just goes up and over and kind of just.
And I think
and just flips you off as she goes.
nice. And I think with one
And he
hit
does
point.
it as you're leaving.
10 hit points, motherfucker. I healed myself.
Oh, no, it's okay. I think you probably still telegraph the attempt to trip Laris with like a grunt of pain
I'm not being
in the
subtle, man.
process.
I'd fucking put my foot on the wall if I knew it'd reach.
Excellent. And with Tiny Wing flipping off this UNT from Salazlow's past, we will in fact call the session there for the evening.